Good morning.
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 Hope
Morning.
everybody's having a great day.
Oh, yeah.
All righty. Oh, get all these different screens set up here. Fantastic. Wow, we had a big group on Thursday and a big group on Saturday. That's great. I'm glad so many participants. That's fantastic. We're going to give it just another minute or so before we get going so that we get a chance for everybody to get here. And we'll start out with someone not being here. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend and getting out and making photographs.
I go find some mushrooms.
Yeah, as soon as I'm done with this show, I'm gonna start getting all my stuff together to do my 1 hour mushroom thing. I bought a mushroom yesterday at the store. It's a great big brown, beautiful mushroom. So I'm gonna spend 1 hour photographing it and see what I can come up with. I have a 25 ideas to help you get out of a block, and one of those is a thing that I do occasionally. I used to do it a lot more. I need to do it a lot more. That is, you block off 1 hour. So you have all your lights set. Your lights are there where you can get them. So it doesn't count like going down to the garage and getting your lights and stuff up. But you get everything ready to go. Then you set the alarm clock at 1 hour and you shoot that thing for an hour. No longer, no shorter. You just try everything: wide angle lens, telephoto lens, macro lens, backlight, front light, side light, bounce light, strobe light, whatever. Just shoot it for an hour. When the alarm goes off, you stop. And then you look back and what did I get? You don't, as like with writing, don't edit as you go. Edit at the end. Just take the shots, make them as good as you can, and move on to the next setup. It's a lot of fun. All right. Well, we'll find out if our first folks are here. I think Maria-Elaine is here, right? Maria-Elaine, are you here? Yeah? No? Oops. All right. I guess if we go to Maria-Elaine and we go next. Larry, is Larry here? We're not off to a good start. All right, let's give them one more minute. And I'll just open. Yeah, anybody have any questions? Anybody at all have any questions about anything photographic?
Yeah, Don, I have a question.
Sure.
You, I was looking through my notes from the last still life thing we did there,
Mhm.
and you had said something, and I probably should have wrote it down, but about the edges of the table and what's visible about the rear edge or the front edge. I think there was something, not a rule necessarily, but something
Oh,
you should
your
consider.
horizon line?
The horizon lines. Yeah, maybe that was it, or yeah. Something
When you
about that
have-
rear edge too. I thought there was some consideration you had to consider with the rear of your table.
Yes, when you
that-
ask yourself, when you're looking at your picture, let's say you've got a bottle here, okay? Got a bottle, and you have the edge of the table back there, all the way up here. Then what's all this space for? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just, it doesn't make sense. So we'll put the horizon down here,
Push the bottle back, or yeah.
and it puts the bottle as the subject, the forefront of the picture. And this isn't like a rule. This is a rule of thumb, not a rule. But if you're going to have your horizon back here, give us a reason. Maybe there's some, eggs or something. Maybe there's a bottle of milk, and there's some eggs or something, and they go all the way back. Okay, then there's a reason for it. If there's no motivation for that table, it just becomes so much of the picture, and it's really not part of the picture. So it also then, if this table happens to be a dark table and dark wine, the table and the wine, there's just too much of this space here. We want to be able to see the wine against the background. So that's
So
a rule
change
of
your
thumb.
change your camera angle
Or move it back. Move it back to the back, or yeah, the lower you get your camera, right? The lower you get your camera, the lower the horizon goes.
Yeah.
As you stand up, the horizon starts rising behind your subject.
or maybe use a narrower tabletop edge.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I was looking for. And I was trying to remember that rule.
One of the, if you go to Home Depot or one of those places and just get like a 10-inch shelf,
Yep.
you can do a lot of work on a 10 or a 12-inch shelf, you know? So.
Thank you.
And just paint it. If you want it black, paint it black. If you want it brown, paint it brown. If you want to take a sponge to it and make it icky, do that. You know, you can just, you know, pretty soon that thing is, you know, got an extra 1/4 inch paint on it, but it's a lot of fun to work with. Are you all right? Did Marlene come in yet? Marlene? Oh, all right. Well, Larry Davidson's here though. Hi, Larry. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you, Don?
Good. Image stack, nice. I do like this. Is just really, really pretty. It's very painterly. I like it's a, I think you said it's a 70 to 200, and oh, you're locked all the way out of 200. Okay.
Yeah, there's a gap about 4 inches between the pairs, Don, to
Okay.
let light go through to the back pair. And I wanted to compress that and give it more of a feeling.
Yep. That's this light coming right back through there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really pretty. And you know, one of the things I love about photography is the little things that make the shot just a little bit better. And that light right there on that stem, that's just beautiful.
Yeah, the top stem was the one I was having trouble with. I had to set up like a little reflector just to put light back on the top stem.
Yep. Yeah, I love this little highlight coming right in here too. Very subtle highlight from your fill, and I don't know what you're using for fill or if you're using anything, but there's a subtle highlight from fill there. It's really, really pretty.
Yeah, it was a B flat setting up. Actually, my main light and my fill were fairly far away from the image.
That's a nice shot.
Okay, all right. Well, what did you, you put your light back here. Okay.
Yeah, when I had it closer, Don, the fall off was just too much to cover. So I had it back, working with the inverse square law.
Well, it really does give a really, really soft light to this. It's really beautiful. Really well done. Great shot.
Okay, thanks, Don.
Love it. Just absolutely love it. Love to start off like that. Marlene's still not here. Okay. We'll move on to Apples by Jim Hill.
Hello, Don.
Hi, Jim. I really like your camera placement here. You're absolutely dead at oblique to these things. You didn't put this dead center. You put it right off dead center. There's dead center. So that works really well. It keeps these even. What I'm saying is if your background is this way, your camera must be oblique to it. Absolutely the same. If you tilt that camera a little bit, these things are going to go all crazy, just going to go nuts. And they're going to start meeting at different lines. And you don't want that. This shot, everything meets at the back. You could have put this right down the middle. That would be fine too. But as long as you have the center of your image is the center of your camera, that's perfect. And you're aligned right. Very nice.
Oh, thanks.
Bright, nice fill up here. What is your highlight? What are we using here?
I have a single light. There's one of those Godex XL60s, one light.
Hmm. Okay, and close. So the light is getting a very tight. Do you have a grid on there?
Yeah, I have
Okay.
yeah, I have a grid on there.
So you're really, instead of using this whole thing, you're really only using about this much of that diffuser.
Right.
This is a little bit lighter, and that gives you that sharper highlight. Yeah, that's one way you can use diffusers, folks, to get a sharper light is to put a grid on the back. And then you're just using a small part of that diffuser. But the diffuser itself will still give you a real soft edge. Your edge is a little poppy right here,
Right.
but it's not a soft box. Can you all see the difference? If this was a soft box, this would be squared off here. It would be a white square because that's what the box is. When you add the diffusion, you get that little bit of softness on the edge. Had he backed it out or taken off the grid, it would be a lot smoother on the edge. That's why I like scrim so much. It gives you the option to do something, whatever you want with it. And nicely done. And here's one where I think I probably would have put your horizon here
Okay.
and let the subject be more of the subject. If you get what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of space behind that
A lot
line
of
you just
space.
drew.
And then there ends up being a lot of wood that we don't need to see. We really need to see this basket. Look for a point in your basket or your glass or your something where it starts to go under. Anywhere between here and here would have worked. But I think if you get down here, what happens? Then it starts looking like it's on the edge, right?
Right.
I mean, if it was here, we kind of go, well, that thing's sitting off the edge. You don't want it off the edge. You want it to be very, very natural right in here. So nicely done.
Yeah, those apples came from my backyard.
That's even better. That is even better.
It's nice to just walk out your house and pick them off the tree and eat them.
That's really nice. How many trees do you have?
Well, I have like 2 apple trees. I have like a couple peach trees, pear, a couple cherry trees. We have a lot of trees in our yard.
Are you on the West Coast or East Coast?
Yep, Iowa City.
Iowa City?
Yep.
I have no idea where that is. I imagine it's in Iowa. I'm going to go
That's
with
in Iowa.
Iowa somewhere. All right. See? Isn't there an Iowa City in Ohio? I'm serious. Isn't there another Iowa City somewhere that's not Iowa?
Yeah, I think there is another Iowa City.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're in eastern Iowa.
Yeah, I was really, really confused by that. So, in fact, I think I've been in that Iowa City. So, lovely. Jennifer, look, some vegetables and fruits and things are just made for photography. Artichokes is one of those things that have fascinated photographers since cameras. There's texture, there's design, there's repeating pattern. This is really pretty. I love that soft fill on this side. Your highlights just give us all the texture. This is a very nice shot. What are you shooting this on, Jennifer?
Thank you. The camera, are you asking?
Yeah, no, I
Or-
mean the background. What is your surface?
Oh, that one is a MDF that I hand painted. I used to buy a lot of MDF when I was starting and just painted then and had fun. And actually I painted this for a cookbook that I shot last year. And I really love it. I mean, the green is a dark green. It's basically like green with red.
Oh,
And I
okay.
mix the 2 colors. And I use like a sponge to blend the 2 colors together and get that backdrop.
That's
Yeah.
really nice. Is that wood that you're shooting?
No, it's MDF or plywood.
Plywood.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Plywood of MDF, like you can buy that in Home Depot. It's like $12. I mean, it used to be like $7. Now they are like more expensive.
Yeah,
But yeah, you basically can do your own backdrops with
it's the,
$15 or $20.
it's the plywood that has the finished surface.
Yes.
Yeah, I think one side's unfinished, one side's finished. Got a nice.
Uh-huh.
smooth-
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep, great surfaces.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. And yeah, I painted with a sponge. And that's the behind the scenes. I love using like grids and strip books with grids for this type of photos. So that's what I use.
Uh-huh.
I had like I don't know the dimension, but it's a small strip box with a grid and then a white car on the right.
Nice,
And that was it.
fantastic, beautiful shot. Just lovely.
Thank you.
It's and you know, this is one of those things where and I say this so often to my students. They'll say, you know, don't tell me there's nothing to shoot, because I'll hear photographers go, "Oh, there's nothing to shoot." Go to the store and buy a damn artichoke, or a mushroom, or a stalk of green onions for, you know, 2 for $1. And one for your salad and one to photograph. You know, of course, you do look a little crazy at the supermarket holding up green onions to see which bunch of green onions you're going to buy. And then
Yeah,
when you get to
because you
the
always have
when
to
you get to
choose.
the checkout, you say, don't touch the onions. Just be gentle with them. And,
Oh my God, that's me. I feel you.
yeah, very nice, super nice, super nice. This one caught my eye. Catherine Gooding is that Catherine here? I don't see
Good
her.
morning.
Oh, there you are. All
Hi.
right. What? These are either some sort of berry or the tiniest watermelons I have ever seen in my life.
They're actually tiny eggplants. They're like
Oh,
slightly, like maybe a little bigger than golf balls. And
Okay.
they're a little bit kind of gritty. So I don't know. That's kind of what came through, I think.
Yeah, it feels like there's a pool of light that they're in,
Yeah.
because you've got this over here. I don't see any Photoshop mask edges to this. No vignetting.
None.
Pretty much
No,
natural,
none.
right?
Yes.
And it feels natural and it looks really great. I love this little bit of cloth coming through here, right? This is such a fun picture. And
Thank you.
it's such a fun thing to look at, because we generally don't go to the store, well, unless we're photographers, and pick up things and look at them this close. You know, it's like we're
Mhm.
looking at something we rarely see. So it's a unique vision. That's nice.
Thank you. Yeah, I went to the market and just wanted to find the most interesting looking vegetable or fruit, and that's what it was. And
That's
it
really
came on with
cool.
me. And I'm gonna eat them for dinner tonight.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Now, the commercial part of me always kicks in, and I'd fix that.
Sure.
There was one here. I'd fix that
Yeah.
right there. And then there's one
Okay.
down. Yeah, just like these little blemishes. I'd fix them up just a little bit just to make it
Mhm.
perfect.
Sure.
Hyper real in a way. Hyper real perfect. So
Yes.
super,
Okay.
super nicely
Thank you.
done. How did you process this, by the way?
I processed it in Lightroom. I added a little bit of contrast and a little bit of texture, and that's really about it.
Oh, cool. Nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, right on top. Get that light down close.
I was
Really like
listening
it.
to the last to your words of wisdom. Like
Yeah.
move the big light close.
Closer you get the light, in all cases, the closer you get the light, the better chances. Doesn't mean, you know, for those of you who have not been with me, because I do see a couple of new names up here who've not been with me for a while. My rule is start with the light as close to the subject as you can physically get it without it being in the camera. Start there. That doesn't mean you're going to shoot there. It can be too close. And you can say, oh, this is not, I want a little more edge. Then you can pull it back as far as you want. But if you start back here, you'll never move it that close. You won't do it. You'll stay out here, move it here, whatever. You'll never bring it in that close. So might as well start at one extreme. The best extreme is the closest extreme, because distance, if you got a 14-foot room, 14 feet away, that's silly to start there. Start as close as you can. You can see the light in the camera. Great. Pull it back. Make your first test shot. So really nice.
Thank
Nice
you.
job, Catherine. Dang, dang. Oh, look at this. This is like a piece of sculpture here, Dang Ang. And look at this gorgeous highlight down here. Wow. That's really pretty. So is this mounted on something?
Put on two sticks.
Okay. That's really gorgeous. I can see this as a poster
Mhm.
easily. You know, and by removing all context from around it, it makes it even more special to our eye. We see this as the star of the grid of the square here. It's really, really nice. This great lighting. I got to see what you used for your bottom. Oh, just a V card. Wow. Yeah. It's surprising what cardboard can do to a picture, isn't it? Wow, really nice. Super nice shot. I love this little glow from the bottom.
Me too.
Oh, and again, you pulled all the way out the 200, really scrunching up.
Actually, I was inspired by Larry's photo, and he used a 200. I was like, because I don't have a macro lens, but if I use the other lens, the image is so small, so tiny. So I saw his comment. He used 200. I said, "Oh, I have 200, but still too small. I need to crop a lot." So I'm considering. That's my question. That I need to buy a macro lens.
No, you do not.
You don't. I don't need to.
No, buy some tubes. Buy the
Oh,
tubes.
For Nikon Z cameras, Z lenses, they don't have tubes.
You're right. Sorry about that. You're right. They don't have the tubes yet.
Yeah.
But to buy another macro lens at this point, I mean, that's you're on Nikon. Do they make the 60 millimeter f2.8?
Yeah,
or
50 and 105.
they don't make the 60?
No, right now they only have two available, 50 or 105.
The 60 millimeter f2.8 macro Nikon is probably one of the best lenses ever made. Period. End of story. In fact, there are some food shooters and some jewelry shooters. It's the only lens they have. They didn't even bother buying anything else. Really, really great lens. I'm sure they're going to bring it to the Z because it's a legendary lens. So
I had that lens and I sold it, but I was using it with the adapter and it was very nice. So maybe you can try using it with the adapter. I have the Z6 and it worked great. And I sold it to buy the 105. And then I was like regretting it because the 60 was much, much better. I mean, the quality of the image and the
yeah,
detail
it's
was
a
better
work.
than the one.
It's even if you went on eBay and found a used one, and I will say this, even if it's a manual focus one and on an adapter, it's a hell of a lens. Really.
Oh, okay.
I
I'll
don't
look
use
into it.
autofocus in the studio and stuff like this. I use manual focus. I don't,
Oh,
I turn autofocus off because autofocus is just,
mhm.
it's, you know, you're constantly struggling against the autofocus when you just manually focus it right in.
Mhm. I will look into it.
Are you shooting into like a tablet, like tethered?
Yes.
Okay, so you can check your focus on your tethered screen.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Yeah, but not worry about it. Yeah, beautiful. Ron,
Yeah, good morning.
hi, Ron. You cropped two out and left one in the middle, so that's really pretty. I like you kept this dark area here, and I like this little bit of light sneaking in under here, so it gives us depth. This is very soft light. Is this just water on the pear? Or is this water and glycerin?
No, just water.
Just water?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
but
I
the pear,
love
I guess
this.
kind of waxed, so it really beat it up.
I love this light right up here. Then it comes down and goes down the side here, and then it's like on the front of this one here, you know? Even though it's all the same light, it's the pear, the shape of the pears is doing it. And this pear is lighting up and giving us highlights on these little nodules there that are very nice, working with it itself. You kept that nice and sharp. It's really a well done shot. What did you do this with?
Well, it's an Olympus. Well, let's see. There it is. It's about a 90 millimeter
Okay.
full frame equivalent. So it was a zoom at around 45.
Okay.
Um,
And there's a light back here lighting.
and
this
there,
up?
the strobe is out of the. It's some distance behind it to spread the light more.
Nice. Yeah, that's nice. I like your little set. This looks good. I love these things. Hold this scrim out here.
Oh, I love that thing. That's it. That's the first thing that gets set up each shoot.
Yep. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
Let's look at the light. Resulting light is just really pretty. Nice. Mark.
Hi, Don.
Hi, Mark. Boy, this one just jumped out at me. I like this so much. I really do. This is a very brave composition.
Yeah. Oh boy, I don't know about it. I'm just
No,
starting to worry about that.
No, you know, this, if this was the shot, right? That's not a bad shot at all. It's really pretty, but that's not the shot we have. We have that shot all the way up here. And that negative space says something to us. It gives context to where they are, the size of them, the light. It gives, even though you've removed context, there's no boards or anything like that, context, that space pulls our eye down and doesn't let us escape. It's very, very, very cool. And when you did this, you did this deliberately. This isn't like Mark wasn't looking through the camera and he just happened to. So what were you thinking about when you put this space up here?
I wanted that. I wanted to show exactly what you see there. And I wasn't sure how it was going to work as far as food as art goes, but I thought, this is how I see food as art, and I liked it.
Yeah, I think that choice of that dark negative space at the top, it gives weight to those items. And it also, in some ways, just makes that color pop. Just really, really does. Now, had you put them in the middle with a bunch of foreground, I don't know. I don't know if that would work. I think having them down at the bottom, physically at the bottom, sitting on the surface down there, that really, really makes the shot cool. I really like it. Yep, double diffusion. Diffusing the source coming through that, and that gives us a nice, real soft, but you still have that pointy light because that thing is still putting a hot spot right there.
Yeah.
And because of the nature of the scrim, you have that hot, but all of this is scrim as well.
Well, the other thing that you can't see is that I put a black card on a light boom arm, and I was holding that and adjusting, trying to tweak moving it up and down to try and get the light where I wanted it.
Okay, cool.
And then if you also look, you see I put a little teeny black card in front of my white cards. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right here. Yeah. That's just keeping that lower part here darker.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a well done shot, sir.
Thanks, Don.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I like the way you concepted it out. You had an idea here.
Thanks again, Don.
Yeah. Paul,
Yeah, hi, Don.
hi, Paul. It's a hell of a set you got going there, buddy. Where did you get the old board?
Oh, boy, I had a pile of them in the backyard, been sitting there for years.
Aren't you glad you kept it?
You know what? I actually, I just sold a whole bunch of them and I saved one saying, I'll use this for a project. And then this thing came up and it's like, well,
Yeah.
I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Your spouses or your significant others, as the more you get into this tabletop stuff, they're going to have to get used to you, like stopping on the side of the road, pick up an old piece of wood that caught your eye and putting it in the trunk,
unbelievable.
because it's like, you can't reproduce that stuff.
No, you can't. And you know what? It has to be the right one too, for some
Yeah.
reason.
Oh yeah.
I tried some different things and this board, I said, I got that board. I ran out and got that. And to me, it really made it.
And are the leaves native to your fall right now?
They're right in the backyard. They're just fallen on the ground and they were still wet.
Wow. It's just a lovely photograph, sir. Just really, really nice. The red and the gray and the light colored pumpkins, these reds pull out the gray so well. I like your composition. You spent some time on the composition, am I right?
I did a couple days on this shoot, and one day it was window light, as you'll see in the behind the scenes, but it was bright sun and I just couldn't control it through this window. But the next day we had a rainstorm come through here and it was just overcast skies. And I changed out all the leaves and just used the straight window light. There's nothing here but window light.
There are many photographers who make a living with their window.
Yeah.
And make art with their window. But I think if I look, I think you left the right amount of wood showing.
Yeah, I
Not
toyed
too
around with
much,
that a lot.
we've got this, and that little bit that peeks back here lets us know it's a rail. It's a board rather than a table, because if it was a table, we'd be wondering what the hell happened to the table, right? But you caught just enough of that our subconscious mind picks it up, and we know that there's an edge to it. I think it's a really nice shot. And your window light, yeah, you can't, well,
I
man, you
can't
can get any
believe it.
better than that. Take a look at this. Oh, we'll go back one.
Yeah, it was for
Go
for
back
us.
one here. I'm not too crazy about the focus on your window light shot, but the focus on the pumpkins is good. So we'll go with that. That's fine.
That was focus stack too.
If you're behind the scenes shots where are fuzzy,
That's
who
from my
cares, right?
phone. Yeah.
Now, did you focus stack this?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
It is.
yeah. That's another thing that adds to the look of this. How many
It's not-
images?
4.
Did you use Helicon or did you use Photoshop?
I did right in Photoshop.
Okay.
Yeah. First align, then stack, and it's a 2-second process. I was surprised. Yep. I did get an anomaly doing it though in the bottom right. I had to crop, which didn't really hurt it, I don't think, but something strange kept happening, and I did it a couple times, and it still would not do that bottom right corner just the way I wanted it. But I ended up cropping it. It needed to be cropped anyway, but.
Well, if you guys like Focus Stack, if it's part of your workflow, Helicon really is the best.
I'll look that up.
I want to say, I think it's like $100, $99, but it is designed for that. And the other one that my buddy, the architect, swears by, or swore by anyway, is, hold on. The hell's it called?
Probably Zareen, Don, that's what I use.
Oh, no, the one he uses is Aurora HDR. Never mind, that's an HDR thing. That's not focus stacking. You're right, never mind. What was the one you said, James?
Zareen Stacker.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I'll tell you what, when you start focus stacking, especially when you're in close like this, you create a more unique photograph, because we're not used to seeing up close things with ultra depth of field, right?
Right.
even our eyes don't see ultra depth of field when we're looking in. Our eyes have a depth of field to them as well. So I'm sitting and looking at this microphone. That's not tack sharp back there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's very cool. Love it.
Thank you. Thank you, Don. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Hi, Paul. Before you go on, what was the background you use on that shot? Is it a cloth or something,
Yeah,
or
it's
is it?
a black velvet, crushed velvet. It's just a piece of cloth.
Yep. All you have to
sitting
do
on-
is go to Joann's or Michael's or one of those places, and you
Yep.
can get this. You can also get something that we used to use a lot of, but in art classes, black flocking paper. It's called flocking paper, and it's paper that's been like sprayed with this little bits of black paper onto it, and because it's rough, man, it just soaks up the light. I mean, it's just almost impossible to see it. Same with the black velvet. Felt works really well, but felt has a tendency to draw dust to it, so you've got to keep it really, really clean. So really cool. Nice.
Thank you.
Thomas,
Hi, Don.
I really love the highlights in this and the warmth. It's so cool.
Thank you.
What is the surface, sir?
It's a baking tin, very ancient one.
I don't know if I told you guys this or mentioned it at some point, but my wife was getting ready to throw out the baking pan. She goes, I'm going to get a new one. I said, I'll get you a new one. Just you're not throwing that one away. It's all, bronze and burned and everything. No, that's mine now. I'll get you a brand new one. If you have a friend or sibling that has an old crappy, crusty cooking pan that really, really is got a lot of patina to it, buy them a new one. They're only like $8. Buy them a new one and take the old one with you. It'd make great surfaces. This is lovely. I love this. Are these avocado?
No, chestnuts.
Oh, chestnuts. Oh, okay. There's no open fire, so I didn't make that connection. Very hard. That's really nice, Tom. Is it single shot?
Yes, f/32.
F32. Okay, great. What lens do you have that has F32 on it?
The macro 105 from Nikon.
Yeah, nice. You know what? I just nothing in here got lost. Nothing's lost in here. All of this shows, and it's so important. The little discoloring here, so important. I love this. Looks like you can see every little tentacle on this stuff. Very nice. Very nice. What camera?
The D850.
Ah, nice. Yeah. Got enough megapixels in there to shoot anything. Beautiful. Tent. All right. So is this one firing?
Yes, both with full power because of the aperture.
Yes. Cool. Do like that. I do like your set's great. You got to pop your light from here because it's a direct light into the scrim, and a softer light from that side because it's a soft light into the scrim.
Yeah,
And-
and inside that arched thing, there's a black card,
I see
a
them all the way.
stripe on the left, and with some black cards in the back. Yes, but just under the scrim, there is a long black card to separate the white highlight on the left side of the back chestnut.
This one back here.
No, very near to the cloth, just under the scrim.
Oh, you're over here.
Yeah,
Okay.
right there.
You're sculpting the light into here. Okay.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Such control. There's so much control of the lighting here. I just really like it. Really like it a lot.
thank you.
Jan. Is Jan here?
It's Jan. It's Jan.
It's Jan?
Yeah.
See, I always get it wrong.
That's all right.
Hi, Jen, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
you?
Very good. See, this is one of those situations where we don't see your horizon, so
No.
we don't feel it. But this would, if we did have an horizon back here, it would make total sense because you used it. Now we don't have one, so we don't have to worry about it. But this is just really lovely. Our eyes, how many of you guys are seeing a horizon somewhere in here? For me, my brain says there's a break right in here somewhere. My brain puts it in there. The soft light from over here on these, and then having this beautiful light here. You chose one light, you didn't fill it, no fill card on the other side. That beautiful black part of the pear against the lit part of the pear there. And I love how this pear goes dark right here, and then this pear is lit right against it. It gives us depth, things in front of each other, because the light's going behind. You know, we know the depth that is created because we know this pear is in front of that one because the light that hit this pear is hitting this pear behind it. Those little touches when you're doing your still life, think about where that light's going to fall on the items around your subject, which in this case is that's your subject, that pear. And these, this is Gladys Knight. These are the pips. You know, she is the star, and the rest of them are there to support her. I guess this is the piano, bass, and drums back here. That's what we're going to go with that. So nicely done, really pretty and very artistic. Very artistic, Jen. What did you use here? You used a 60, the 850 with the 60.
Yeah, I did.
So you have that lovely 60 macro.
Yes.
That,
I use it a lot. Well, I used it a lot for flowers at one time as well.
Well, the food photographer for the New York Times, Andrew Scrivani, I think he uses it 90% of the time. It's like the only that I think he's got a 105 macro or something as well. But that lens is, if you're a tabletop shooter and you only need one lens, it's a 50 or the 60 if you're on Nikon. That's all you need.
Yeah, it's good.
Really nice. Okay, do you have a flag back there behind your light, or is that?
No, it's that's
the box.
That's
okay,
just the strip box. Yeah,
got it.
I angled the light slightly.
Yes, your scrim is going like this, and your box is going like that. Yeah. So it's a little bit brighter up here than it is back here, and that's why you're getting that natural fall off that we see. Did you do a lot in Photoshop on this image?
Just a bit, some exposure and contrast.
Okay. Just really pretty.
I did put a little bit of a vignette on to. I thought the pair at the back on the right hand side was a little bit too bright, so I did put a bit of a vignette around there.
Okay. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Nicely done. I knew somebody would do a leaf. I knew somebody. Matt, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
That's really cool, Matt. What kind of leaf is it?
It's a bay leaf.
Yeah. Don't ever DM me and say there's nothing to shoot. Don't ever do that, folks, because you can get you can shoot a leaf and make a piece of art out of it. Really pretty, and you chose that black non-contextual, floating there, so it really does make it look like an icon, like a piece of something. It looks really cool.
Thanks.
I gotta see how you lit it. Oh, one.
Yeah, there's a speed light with a grid.
Oh, nice. Did you twist this thing around to get different angles?
Yeah.
of it?
Yeah, I did.
Well, I love this, Matt. This
Thanks.
highlight here, and then it kind of goes dark, and then we pick it up on the other side. That's really cool.
Yeah, it was a good exercise, just playing with that leaf and seeing where the light fell, and it was really good for me to just
Lots of different, very subtle movements that leaf totally changed the lighting. So it was a really good exercise.
Yeah.
of just
And having
being
that
my
light
life.
in having that light in really close like you do, you know, you're 2 stops less over here. So you're in an area where the light's falling off quickly in here. Playing with the inverse square law with the light in that close. Now that light, I imagine, is not on very much power, right?
No, I can't remember. I played with different settings, but I was anywhere from, yeah, usually around like 128. Maybe I went up. I don't think I ever went up over a 32nd.
Yeah.
128, 64, 30 seconds, somewhere in there.
Yeah. Nice. Very cool. Well done, sir. ML Shaw. Is ML Shaw here?
Yeah,
There we
sorry.
are. Hi, Marisa. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, very good. Look at that.
Kind of silly.
The onions are so tricky because they're translucent. So there's no real surface to the onion. You know, the light goes into the onion. Someone yesterday was saying on the class was that sometimes you shoot onions and garlic, no matter what you do, they don't look in focus because the light's just penetrating those edges. This is great. I love this. Real nice focus up in here and down in here. The onion looks great. When I first saw it as a thumbnail, I thought maybe a little under. Now that I see it, no, dead on, dead on.
Oh, good.
Here's this obviously white, obviously letting it fall back. The idea of putting the blue in there, that's great. That's really, really nice.
Well, it was kind of funny. It was an afterthought because I was doing an onion. I'd seen this painting that I thought was beautiful a long time ago, and I was sort of trying to do that to fail. And then I was cleaning up, and I was picked up the netting, and I thought, man, that's pretty.
Yeah.
So what the heck? We'll take a portrait of an onion.
Yeah, and the netting, you know, the onion is so spherical, right? And then the netting is like this, like water floating around this, you know, basic shape of a circle.
Yeah.
And I just think that the contrast of all these lines and all these little things that you're picking up, and it's just a little garbage. I mean, not a garbage bag, a little produce bag, right? From the
Yeah, it's what the onion came in.
yeah.
So anyway,
So you made this beautiful photo. This would make a stunning print.
to do what with it then? My husband
Put it
said, "Oh,
on
you
the
should
wall.
print that."
It would make a stunning print, and it's a picture of an onion in the bag. So
Okay.
favorite part of photography is being able to do that kind of stuff. Lovely, really lovely. Got your light very far away and lots of very close fill. And that's what's giving us that small little highlight right here, because your light's far away and your fill is just letting it come all the way around. So we don't even have a feeling of shadow on this. We just have a feeling of lighter light to light. Well done.
Thank you.
How long did it take you to do the shot?
Not very long. I don't have a lot of time. In fact, I really thought that I would try to do some other things, and I just never could. So just didn't have the time. So I'd say, you know, I was probably an hour down there.
Yeah. I'd love to see that onion wrapped real tight with that blue.
Oh, that'd be
stuff.
neat.
Or hanging, you know, the hanging down with the onion in it.
Yeah.
Fun stuff like that. There's a rule of life, and it's called, we will fill it with the time we have.
Yeah.
So if you say, it's going to take me a week to clean the house, it will take you a week to clean the house. You will fill it up. Or if you say, I've got to have the house cleaned by 5 o'clock today, guess what? It's cleaned by 5 o'clock. So if you just set yourself as an hour, you know, you say you're busy, just set yourself an hour to do it. You'll get it done in that hour, you know? I think all of us humans, we have too many open-ended stuff. Very nice shot. Love it.
Thank you.
Wow, James, looks like something out of a hot rod, man. Look at that color. Wow. That that bell pepper had to be that, you know, it says it's starting to go bad. That's because nobody wanted that damn bell pepper. They were like, no. Do you have any round bell peppers? Because this one looks like it's been sat on.
No, they were fine when I got them, but it took me 2 days before I got around to being able to set it up and shoot them. And they wrinkled up just that fast.
Well, the wrinkles give it character. I
Oh, yeah.
actually like the wrinkles in it. It adds a little bit of time. You know, time is something that is part of photography. And you've caught this thing during a time when it's starting to die, you know.
Right.
Catch it right in there. I would, you know, if it was a perfect bell pepper without the lines, that would be nice too. But if you had a little blemish, I'd say, well, take that blemish off. But with this one, don't take anything off. That is part of the character of this. And your light is great. And this red of this bell pepper. So did you, in post, did you boost the red?
I actually didn't. I pulled up the shadows across the board a little bit in capture, but that was about it.
Wow. Okay. All right. So you got your light a bit of a distance away. That gives us the smaller highlights. Black card for density. We don't want those shadows to come up. You wanted it to melt into the background, basically. And then one white card on this side for that pepper there. Wow. Which worked.
I was surprised it did. It was a rushed shot. I know what I'm going to shoot for the next one. I will allow a lot more time to work on it. I should have focus stacked this one though.
Oh, I don't, is it out of focus on the edge?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the focus stacking is always, and I would say this to everybody on every shot you do like this, try a focus stack. You know, get it, it looks good. Now do a focus stack. And then pull back and do a f2.8 shot if you can, you know, minimum depth of field, just so that you can see the difference. And it starts building what I call visual literacy. You know, you start to be able to see like the camera sees. James, is a nice shot.
Thank you.
Is this your first time with me?
No, actually, we go back a whole bunch of years. You
I
came
was
out
going to
and
say, I recognize you from right when I first did the first one, right? In 2020?
No, this goes back earlier than that. Sheila Morgan brought you out for a live workshop in Hayward.
Yeah. All
This was
right.
a bunch of years ago.
Yeah, that was fun. Oh, we had a blast there.
Oh,
We
yeah.
had a blast. I remember shooting in the leaves, the shadows of the leaves, the mottled light, and somebody was like, "Oh, I heard we're not supposed to shoot in mottled light." And I'm going, "Well, look." Oh, yeah, it kind of looks good.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. All right, Giannis.
Hi, hello, Don.
Hi, Giannis. You feeling better?
Yeah, a bit better, yes.
Good. Really beautiful. This is more than one shot, am I right?
And two shots.
Two
One
shots.
shot is the orange, is the shot I got from camera. I just put the splash, nothing else.
And the splash is done like in a like a thin, narrow jar to get it really narrow coming up.
No, I just removed the inside.
Oh, you did it in
part
the
of
in the orange.
Yes, inside. Yeah.
Okay.
I poured the juice inside the cap, let's say, because I cleaned that up, and I throw an ice cube to make the splash. You'll
Ice
see that
cube?
from behind, from the behind the scenes. You're going to see this.
Nice.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
I had already poured the juice on the orange there. I had cleaned that. I made the juice separately and then poured it inside. Then I just dropped the ice cube to make the splash. Then just blend that upper part, the splash.
Very nice.
Giannis, I'm really impressed that you got that splash in 2 attempts. Well done.
But just remember, but in the time I was shooting this shot last night, I had like 39.5 fever. You know, I was like, oh gosh.
All the more
It was-
impressive.
Yeah, it was a bit difficult for me to shoot last night in that state, but okay, I did my best.
Yeah, I think it looks really good, man.
Well, thank you. I had nothing else to shoot. I had some strawberries. My daughter ate them. I had nothing else, so I did the orange.
I'm guessing you use the remote, Giannis? Remote trigger?
No,
Oh.
no, I never use those things. You know, no. I have enough experience to know my camera and my, just the timing when I let that go. But we have done a lot of splash classes with Don, so we have been trained enough.
It really is an eye-hand coordination thing. When you first start to do this, you're going to miss a bunch of times. But after you do 6 or 8 of these things, you're going to be so much better at it.
Oh, yes.
It's like a sports photographer, because digital cameras still have a lag between the time you push the shutter and the time it makes a picture. Unlike mechanical film cameras, you push the shutter, it makes a picture, right?
Usually, yes.
Camera still has to do something.
Yeah.
You can't really see it, but as a sports photographers will tell you, you have to anticipate a little bit more now with digital cameras than you had to with the mechanical camera.
Yes.
I would catch my daughter, ice skater. I'm sure cameras have gotten faster now, but I knew how to get a toe loop when she would plant her toe down into the ice. I would snap the picture, and on my Nikon, my film camera, she would be coming up into the swirl, right? If I did that with my digital camera, she's all the way through the turn. And yet to me, it sounded like it was just as instantaneous as the film camera. It's not. There's a little bit of a delay. All digital cameras have them. They're coming shorter and shorter and shorter, obviously, but really, really fun.
Yeah, it is the experience also, so many years on doing splashes and whatever. But usually with splash, I use the rear curtain on the shutter speed.
Right.
I have locked once, clack, that is locked. When I pour the ice cube in this case, I know where it's gonna hit the surface, and then it's already for one click to take the shot. You don't have to press it twice.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
you will lose the shot. Yes.
Nice. Nicely done, sir. Beautiful shot.
Thanks.
Arnold.
Hi, Don.
Hi,
Hi,
my
everyone.
friend. Look at that. Is that purple seamless
Poster
paper
board.
that you've curled up?
Yeah, it's poster board.
Poster board.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, I really like this. So simple, so pretty, one color all the way through it. These little highlight lines that you got here are just
That's the edge of the paper. Yeah.
they're just everything to the shot, don't you think? They needed to be there. They're there. They're at the right density. It looks right. Looks good.
Thanks. Yeah, I was trying to do something else, and that first set did not work at all. So I had to pull this off. I also didn't have time. So yeah.
Well, it's a very nice shot.
Thanks.
Let's see how you lit it here.
It's very simple. Two strip lights. One has the diffuser, the baffles, the great, and the other one is just straight diffusion.
How did you
didn't
get
even
the paper to hold this shape?
I put a couple of boards underneath so that it's angled. So it's basically you're just pushing it to one side.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So the corners of those are actually the ones sticking out, right? It's not a straight curl. The corners are a little higher.
right.
on the-
Okay. Yeah, because it just
Yeah,
really looks nice.
yes, to get that curl, yeah.
Super, super. 50 millimeter on a Z. Nice. Great
Thanks.
lighting too. Andrea. Andrea, are you here? Oh no, she's not here. My. Andrea put a bunch of stuff on Facebook. She was busy. She took a bunch of stuff. I think the one she ended up with here is really delightful. I love the light coming from the back, the leading lines, the shapes. I think it's really, really fun, Andrea. Although I don't know how you lit it. Oh, she's hitting it off the board. Okay. So if she's hitting it off the board, she's getting spill from what? All right, so she's lighting up the board with this, but that reflector is going to spill down onto this set. It's going to be brighter back there, obviously, but there's going to be some spill here. So that is what she's using to give us these edges. Okay. That's very cool, Andrea. Very cool. Before I go any farther, if anybody comes on the class and you're way down at the bottom and you got a kid's soccer game, or you got to go do a deposition, or, get a blood draw or something, let me know. We'll get you first. We'll get you in and you can leave. Don't feel like I don't want you to miss anything because you had to leave and we didn't get your picture yet. So very nice. Lawrence, this is very painterly. Lawrence, all right. I don't know if she came in. This is so painterly, soft, muted colors. The set looks that way. That's really lovely. Oh, I thought that would be window light. I really did. I really did. I thought this was a window light. It's not. It's a softbox diffuser. Black card to throw some contrast down over here to keep this from being too, you can see how bright it is already. She's just added a little bit more. That gives us a little bit of a black edge on some of these grapes, which help set it off from the background. Yeah, very nice. Ross, very nice. Pretty shot. Catherine. Catherine, are you here? Oh my. That's really cool, Catherine. Floating them up there like that, just a great idea. And I think they're floating because I don't see these leaves being squished or anything. So super cool. Yep, they're floating. Big light in from the side, floating from here, and that light's nice and close, gives us this beautiful, beautiful highlight. Is she filling it or not? Yeah, got a fill card right here. So a nice soft fill, so it just sort of holds the shadows up. Really beautiful, Catherine. Really nice. Jerry.
Hi, Don.
Nice, man. I like that. I like the fact that you kept the highlights in these limes. Because guys, when you cut these things, they look fresh when there's highlights, right? Once the highlights dry, they don't look fresh anymore. And that doesn't take long for them. You kept the angle to get the highlights dry. I think your lighting here is spot on. I think everything is good except for one thing, Jerry. I got a ding you on one thing. What is it?
Is the horizon crooked?
Nope. It's all that stuff behind it that we don't need to see.
Oh, okay.
See it? And it even pops through there. See that?
Yeah.
This whole set needs to be pushed back. Now, the nice thing about it is a little bit of Photoshop. You can do it. You need to put your horizon on this shot here. right on the curve of this thing coming around, right there. It comes out over here, right about there. You definitely don't want it to be a tangent with that line there, okay? So he's
Okay.
gonna come down a little bit higher. But all of this back here pulls our eye and we don't need to see it. We need to get those limes up in front of it. The limes are beautiful. It's a good shot. It's a really good shot. Just think about that horizon.
Yep.
And we got a little spray light in the back, and that helps. That helps the shot, but it also is the thing that probably, see, it puts that dark line on the
Highlight stuff,
front.
yeah.
So it's, you know, it helps this part of the picture, it hurts the other part. Really nice. Let's go and see your lighting here. Really close gridded strip light. Got a flag in play.
Yeah, just to bring down the front of the board.
Oh, right up in here.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what's really cool? Look at, I love this. It's bright here. It comes down to that dark corner here, and it's dark, and then go up. Nope, we're gonna lighten it up again. Dimension. It's like we're adding our own third dimension. You know, photography is two-dimensional, but with lighting, we can almost make it feel like it has 3 dimensions. You've done a really good job with that here. This looks really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice shot.
Don, I
Yeah,
missed that
16,
comment you
16
had.
shots.
Sorry again.
I
say it
missed
again?
that advice you had on setting the horizon about the camera height. Can you repeat that, please?
You don't want to see horizon where it's not warranted. There's, in other words, the limes are here, this is here, and then we have that horizon, but we don't need to see that. So as you bring, if he brought his camera down, that would lower the horizon down as well, or just push it back to the back part of the set to get to the horizon where you want it. Either way will work.
Yeah.
like-
So lowering the camera will lower the horizon line.
Yeah,
And-
in fashion photography, you'll see a lot of fashion photography where you have the, you know, the model standing here, right? And, you know, and the horizon's right there, right? She's standing on the walk. That's the photographer getting down on their belly and shooting up at the model so they get all the sky. If they were standing up, they would have the model here, right? She'd be here, and the horizon would be here, and there would be stores and, you know, parking cars and all that kind of stuff. So you want a backdrop, you use the sky, you just get down and put her up against the sky. So the lower
Got
you
it.
go,
Thanks.
the lower that background goes.
Perfect.
Yep. Nice. Melvin.
Hi.
Hi. The part of the green onion no one ever sees. That's
That
very
was
cool,
the
Melvin.
interesting part.
That's very cool. I like that. I like that. They're so clean. You did a really nice job in here cleaning them up. Looks like you've got a bit of a hard light going.
Yep. Right there on the left.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
And then are you doing this into the ceiling?
Into the ceiling. You have
Okay.
low ceilings, and it's my fill light because the shadows were very, very dark and
Right. So what he's doing here, this is called creating your own ambient. He's saying that by putting this into the ceiling, he's going to control how dark the image can go. So he puts a bottom on his image saying, okay, shadows, that's fine. You can be a shadow here, but you're not going to be a black shadow. If this wasn't firing, this would be totally black, right? It's not
Close
going to
to-
go that low because he's going to go ahead and fill it with ambient light. Controlling your ambient in a studio situation, whether it's fashion, food, portraiture, whatever, controlling your ambient is the part of professional photography that almost nobody talks about. And there's a lot of internet gurus who don't even know how to do it. I'll tell you what, we'll talk a little bit about doing this during this class, about how when you start controlling your ambient, your photography will take on a whole different look. It's really important. Thank you, sir. Chad, are those real, dude?
Yep. I was gonna do some, I wasn't sure about doing fish, and I read back the assignment, and I saw you said you can use meat or fish, so I went with the fish.
What the heck kind of fish are those?
So those, I had actually, so kind of interesting story, and you know, you can see how exercises like this really help. I had bought these about 2 years ago, and I had them in the freezer with the intention of shooting them, and I never got around to doing it. And then when you put that assignment up, I was like, okay, I know what I'm going to shoot. So these are called cascadura in Trinidad, or I think in Guyana they're called hassa or hassar. So it's a bony fish. So what you're seeing on the outside of the fish is like almost like an armor plating, like you'd find on an armadillo. So it's a freshwater fish that lives in the rivers and the streams, and it's a very, very bony fish. So when you take that hard scale off, there's a lot of fine bones, but they eat it in Trinidad. It's normally curried, so they do it in a curry. And there's a legend in Trinidad that says once you eat that fish in Trinidad, you're destined to return to Trinidad.
Ah, cool. How much fresh water do you have in Trinidad?
I mean, we have a lot of rivers and streams and stuff like that. So no lakes.
Is Trinidad an island?
Yes.
It is an island.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're the last island in the Caribbean before you hit Venezuela.
Okay. I know I was in the Bahamas, not the Bahamas, Bermuda. Bermuda has no fresh water because it's really just the top of a volcano that's stuck out of, it's just rock, no fresh water. But yeah, that's really cool. I love this. The color is, it's a color photograph, but it's so monochromatic. And you look at it and you think this color, and then you see the subtle color in here, and then the slight rust in the knife, in the cleaver here. Very, very cool. And
yes, so
are you using both of these, or you just?
No, I'm thinking I turned off that strip light, so it's just the foam board reflecting that there's a speed light in the front. That's where it's getting the light from. The speed light on the desk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, shooting like this is more done than you think. The people who don't want you to know how many professional photographers use white boards instead of soft boxes, there's nothing in it for people to tell you this because they want to sell you a soft box. But I have a friend that shoots motorcycles, cars, people, everything. He has no soft boxes, no umbrellas. He has one giant scrim. When I say giant, I mean like 26 feet by 14 feet that he uses for ambient. All of his lighting, all of it is foam core and bounce strobes. So, again, money should not be an object. If you want to do tabletop photography, just bounce light into that white board. And the coolest thing is you're bouncing this right into here, right?
Yeah.
So if we go and look at the picture, look at this. We have a little bit of a bright spot. You can back your light up, cover the board. You can move your light in, get a little bit of you can gradient the light off a board just like you can a scrim. Really, really lovely. Nice shot, Chad. Did you cook these bad boys?
They were in the freezer for 2 years, so I figured it probably won't.
No. And when they went in, they were pink. So that's the other thing. They've changed color. Not a good idea at all. All right. Well, super. Next week, fungus. Next week we are all shooting fungus.
Don, I just wanted to say one thing. I've been meaning to post something in the group, but I just haven't gotten around to it. You always talk about sending stuff out to clients and things. So I had printed up a little promo piece, and I dropped it off to a couple of restaurants. And one of the restaurants, as I was driving away, the owner called and I ended up getting a job. And then
No,
about
wait,
2
whoa.
days
Whoa, hold
Yep.
it. Hold it.
Yep.
What you're saying to me is that if you do what I fucking tell you to do, that it has an outside chance of working?
Yep.
Yep, it
Yep.
does.
So I thought I'd share that. I'll post something in the group because I've been meaning to share it. So, just to reinforce what you've been saying.
Yeah, James Eisel, down in West Palm Beach. He had a studio. He was up against it. I mean, he had the studio rent coming due. He had home, mortgage payment coming due, the whole bit. He had like $640 in the bank. And he's like, he was driving home and he said, well, Don keeps telling me to do this. I'm going to do it. Got home. He printed up a bunch of 5x7s, 2 pictures, his number, walked around an industrial park, just the same thing I tell him to. He left the industrial park with $3,200 in commissions and half of that in upfront fees, and got 5 more jobs within the next week after done it, because no photographer ever does it. And those little pieces, those people who make surfboard fins, or they make wine cooler holders, or all that, they make these things. They don't know where to get a photographer. They use Bob in shipping because he's got a really good phone. All these people, when you go and talk their language, you get work. That's really
Yep.
great, man. That's really, really great. So do it again.
Yeah. That's, I've been doing it. So
3 contacts, if you make 3 contacts a day, if those of you who want to be a professional, if you don't want to be a professional, it's not a problem. But if you want to be a professional, you make 3 contacts a day, a phone call, send 2 emails, 1 email, 2 phone calls, an email, 2 postcards, just 3 a day. You will be in the upper 2% of the photographers who market, because at the end of the month, you will have reached 60 people. 60 people. Most photographers don't market to 60 people in a month. When I say most, I mean like 97%. So just keep at it, and it will open up. You're the 5th one. We had 4 in the mentee group. 4 of them submitted jobs this week and got every one of them. So you're number 5. You got the 5th. Every one of the people in the mentee group, mentorship group, every one of them brought the bid to the group and said, this is what I'm going to bid. And every single situation, we tripled that bid. We tripled it. Said, no way are you going to do that. You got to do better than that. Jennifer was at, I think, $2,000. We got her to $6,500. They didn't bat an eye. They're like, okay, good. Another one was another photographer was going to do a job for $1,200. We got them $2,400. They didn't bat an eye. It's like, great. Can we start tomorrow? So, if you go on the forums, you'll hear that commercial photography is dead. Nobody's doing commercial photography. Trust me when I tell you that's not true. It's just different. Never let, old timers like me, I'm the only old timer I know that's telling you this. It's the best time ever to be a photographer. This is the best time ever to do this. The software, the cameras, you can buy a light on eBay, a 300-watt second light on Amazon, a Godox 300. It's to plug in the wall strobe for $100. Back in 1976, the cheapest strobe I could buy was $900. Now, if you do the math from 1976, 77 up to now, that's a $3,000 light. It was the cheapest light we could do. And now you can get them for $100 and you can go into business. It's, I paid $3,000 for my Mac Plus, which is that little 9-inch screen Mac. Remember, that looked like a little robot, right? $3,000 would buy you a top of the line laptop today. So it's a great time to be a photographer. Really, really great. And on that note, folks, I'll let you go. Grab your mushrooms and to the starting gate, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you, Don.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
everyone. Thanks,
Bye.
Don.